gang, T here. Doing a little twist on Top 10 Tuesday. We're going to do the 10 Commandments of Communication. This is huge. I know I did my last video on communication too, but I found that there was just so much more that could be said that could be really helpful that I wanted to try and help with today. Communication is hugely important because we need it for everyday relationships, whether it be with our partners or family or co-workers. If we learn to communicate properly, it totally Number 10. Thou shalt not keep thy feelings and thoughts bottled up. Okay. I am going to just precursor all of this with I am guilty of a lot of these, and they are things that I'm working on. This is one of them. Do not bottle up your feelings, not say anything, don't ask questions, don't have maybe an uncomfortable conversation with someone because you're just gonna bottle up. That was me. I so used to bottle everything up. The problem is those emotions that have you bottled up, they will come out. But the problem is by that point, it'll have some time to fester and it comes out big and usually angry and lots of emotion. And then communication is blocked because I don't know about you, but if someone comes at me aggressively, I'm not going to have this conversation with you. It's not going to be a healthy communication, even if I did. So we need to be careful that we get to the problem quicker. If you have an issue with someone, you have a question with someone, get to them as soon as you have that issue. Don't give it time to fester. Do it quick. That way there's no misunderstandings and no unnecessary tension. Okay? Number 9. Thou shalt be clear. It needs to be clear. What is it you're trying to say? What you want from them? What you're willing to do for them? Be very clear about what you want to communicate. Words like maybe, kinda, if you want to, they're wishy-washy. Hey, I noticed the garbage was not taken out yesterday. Can you make sure to do that Wednesday night because Thursday morning's garbage day? Thank you. That'd be awesome. Thanks. See? Clear. Boom. Okay? Clear, concise. But you also have to be more clear, I feel like, with written communication because there is no body language, there's no voice difference. You could have the same text, same emails, same piece of paper, say something, and it could sound one way or it could sound another way. Like, Jimmy's really cool, huh? Or, Jimmy's really cool, huh? Same words, totally different meanings. And if it's written down, who knows which one you mean? So try to be clear. I know it may sound really kind of cheesy, but if you're texting and you're not doing like a formal communication here, use emojis. They are perfect because then you can say what you want to say and then put your emoji. You can put a little smiley face or you can put a little frowny face or you can put the tear face or you can put the poop, whatever you want to do. Just be clear in what it is you're trying to say. Okay? All right. So we move on to number 8, and it's be honest. I know that sounds like a given, but you have to be honest in everything you say. Kind and respectful, but speak your truth. This is something I am actively working on right now. I used to go from passive, I'm not going to say anything, it's fine, I'm not going to say anything, it's no big deal, I'll just get over it, okay, whatever. And all of a sudden, click, you've passed that point of no return, and I am livid. Boom! I had somebody in my life who was trying to bully me, and it was someone very close to me, and it really hurt. So I really had to take a few minutes before I responded. I was putting him on notice that it was not okay to treat me that way. But I wasn't rude, and I could have been real mean. Because trust me, that was my first response in my head. Was very different than what I actually typed out. So be honest, speak your truth the best you can with respect, with dignity. There's no need to get degrading. So there's always a respectful way to speak your truth, but speaking your truth is important. Yes. Number 7, thou shalt ask questions to understand where the other person is. My counselor, I'm sure she learned it, but when she wants me to expound more than I want to, and she's trying to pull more out of me, she'll say, tell me more about that, or explain what you mean by that, or what does that mean to you? Because, what means something to me may not mean the same to you. You want to make sure you get the facts of the situation as soon as possible. Therefore, you're not assuming, because you know what they say about that. I'm going to say it again. If you assume, it makes an ass out of you and me. It's the worst thing you can do, because then you're assuming usually the worst. And then there's all of this negative talk in your head. And you don't need that negative talk in your head. You don't want it. Get rid of it. Just ask what you need to know. Maybe their truth is different than your truth. Ask questions so you understand their truth. Okay? Okay. Number 6, body language. I can already hear the snickers from here. If you are talking to me and I'm leaning forward and I'm looking you right in the eye and nodding and replying, oh man, oh, I bet that really hurt. It's pretty good communication, right? Now, what if you're talking to me and I'm watching TV? Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, Is that good body language? Is that good communication? No. No, it's not. Or the worst one, on your phone, you're trying to talk to someone and they're on the phone. Seriously? Sitting back and crossing your arms, and it's not very open for communication, is it? You got to be careful what your face says. You got to be careful what your body says. You want to make sure you're looking the person in the eye and you're giving them your full attention. Timing is a lot. Literally, I'm giving CPR. I am on someone's chest, right? And I have a family member who stands behind me and is tapping on my shoulder and is like, what's going on? What are you doing? Why is she doing this? Why did this happen? I thought we were... Okay. What I did was I kindly looked over to someone else in the room and said, can someone please talk to this family member while I continue to do my compressions? I'm sorry. I think right now the most important thing for me to be doing is stay on this chest and do your compressions to try to bring your mom back. I understand you having questions. That's not the problem. But timing was terrible. I will tell you in a minute when I have a minute, or you could ask any of the other 15 people in here, right? Okay, moving on. Be brave, because we have to bring up subjects and talk about things that might make us a little uncomfortable, might make us feel a little vulnerable, a little exposed, and those tend to be the conversations we avoid the most. However, they are usually the ones that need to be had the most. Way back then, I bet things would be completely different if I would have just communicated that better. I don't want to have what ifs anymore, because I used to be pretty guarded and I didn't want to be vulnerable. If I don't know what's going on in my head, I've got 50 billion different scenarios going on, and most of them are not good because I've got a very good imagination. Be brave. Make sure it keeps you from having too many misunderstandings. It keeps your relationship nice and strong. Being brave does not mean you're not scared. Kind of put myself in some vulnerable situations, communication wise, and I don't regret it. Did it turn out the way I wanted it to? Not necessarily, but now I can look back and say, did everything I could. I had said everything I needed to say. I did everything I needed to do. You'll have that peace of knowing. Even if you know something and it kind of stinks, the known is better, because then it shuts down all of that internal chatter. What if this? What if that? I bet they feel like this. I bet they did that. I bet this happened. It shuts it all down. Now you know. It may not be what you wanted to hear, but it still slows down the chatter in your head. Number 4. This one, maybe I should have put it number 1 because it is crucial. To best communicate, you need to listen. And not only listen, you need to listen in a way with the intent of understanding what they're saying and understanding how they're feeling and what the point they're trying to get across. Most of us, a lot of the time, are listening for the response. Like, I'm listening to what you're saying because I am creating how I'm going to respond to you in my head. It's not the small things. Listen to understand what they're saying and their side of it. That is important. You have to communication is not a one-way street. It's a two-way street. You want them to understand how you feel, right? So why wouldn't they you need to understand how they feel too. It's a two-way street. It makes less misunderstanding, less fights, less tension in the relationship. Number 3, thou shalt think before speaking and reread before sending. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. I'm going to say, or find a nice way to say it, because if you're speaking your truth and it's, kind of an ugly truth, there's still a better way of saying it. So you can be nice about it. And reread before sending. But there will be times where I'm like, I'm typing away, what I'm trying to say, and then I'm like, probably shouldn't say that. Delete, delete, delete. And then I go again and I have like 16 different versions of what I want to say. And I've erased them all. I would say 8 times out of 10, I end up just being like, ugh, and not saying anything. Like, forget it. If I can't say it nice, then I don't say anything at all, right? Okay, number 2. Thou shalt stay positive and smile, and don't be accusatory. When you're talking to someone, try to smile, or at least have a pleasant look on your face. That way it's easier to receive and then be able to respond. If you look like this when you're talking to somebody and your hands are going like this, and not going to be receptive very well. Probably the conversation is not going to go in good places. So instead of saying, you did this, you did that, you did that, you can say something like, I felt this way when this event happened. Yes, be honest, like we talked about before. Express how you feel. This is how I feel. This is how I felt. This is where I'm at. And then maybe ask a question. How do you feel? What did you mean by that? Did I misunderstand you? Totally okay to do that. And you can do that smiling and still being positive and actively engaged in the conversation. You ready for number 1? Be aware of the other person's feelings. For example, I had someone break up with me, and it was in the kindest, sweetest way. Okay? And I was like, I can't even be mad at you. Okay. Okay. And so I walked away from that negative conversation still feeling okay. Like, I didn't feel belittled or I wasn't good enough or spiral out of control. I was like, okay, well, that kind of sucks, but okay. I didn't walk away, mad and angry and, like most breakups. Also, get rid of the distractions because you want to make sure that they know that you're talking to them. So, again, get rid of your phone. Get rid of your phone. There should be some rules as far as, keeping their feelings intact during an argument or a touchy conversation. No yelling. Don't yell. You can have a stern conversation without yelling. I've learned it in parenting. I do not yell unless I have to in an emergency situation. And my son, I just don't. He's a really good kid, but I don't yell. I have the mama voice. It's very stern, and you know that you're in trouble, but no yelling. Yelling just escalates things that doesn't need to be escalated. So no yelling, no swearing, no name calling, bringing up the past. It does not have anything to do with what's going on right now. Can we just stay in the present, please? Don't belittle the other person. Don't intimidate the other person. Don't threaten the other person. I mean, these are obviously not good communication skills. This is not going to get you the kind of situation you want. No verbal abuse, and obviously no physical abuse. No hitting, kicking, spitting, biting, I don't know, throwing things at. That is not communicating. That's just a temper tantrum. Okay? And everyone knows when you have a 3-year-old throwing a temper tantrum, are you gonna have a productive conversation? No. You have to wait for them to calm down. So just bypass the temper tantrum. All right. That's all I have for you today. That's my 10 commandments of communication. Say that 3 times fast. Hope you got something out of this. Hopefully it was fun. Hopefully you want to share it with all of your friends. Maybe share it with someone who you think might need some help in the communication area. It can be like your way of communicating. Like, here, she's really great. You should listen to her, particularly this video. There's lots of ways of communicating. Like I talked about in my other video, verbally, body language, really. Text messaging, phone calls, emails, videos, sing song, draw a picture, write a story. I mean, I've done most of them. So enjoy communicating. Enjoy it. Find a way to enjoy it, because there comes a peace with it of just knowing what's going on. And if you have good communication with people, it will bring you closer together to them. You'll have a better relationship, and that's what I want for you. So that being said, have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.